I'm Ronald W. Green. I manage Intel's compiler support team, and at Intel I get to help customers with their issues and problems with the compiler. I help to document new compiler features, I help out on our user forums on the web, and also I get to go out to customer sites for trainings and seminars. At the upcoming Intel software conferences, I'll be covering ComposerXE 2013. Now, the ComposerXE 2013 contains our Intel C++ and Intel Fortran compilers, along with our performance libraries. The performance libraries are the Intel Math Kernel Library, Intel Performance Primitives, and Intel Threading Building Blocks. We package these all together into a useful toolkit we call the ComposerXE. And I'll be talking about that. And what's new and exciting about this, as you probably have already heard, is the Intel Xeon Phi support. That's one of many things that are in the new compiler and tools in Composer. Now, Intel Xeon Phi for the first time gives application developers up to 61 cores that they can use for their applications. That opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for your application. So we're going to talk about how to parallelize your code, but not only parallelize to use those cores, each one of these cores has a vector processing unit, and that allows you to, in parallel, work on multiple data elements simultaneously. So we'll talk about those two aspects, using all of the cores and using these vector units on the Intel Xeon Phi coprocessors. But what we talk about also applies to Intel Xeon processors in general. So we're looking forward to a good discussion about parallelization for both Xeon and the Intel Xeon Phi coprocessor. So why is it important to get parallelization in your application? Well, as we just mentioned, the Intel Xeon Phi coprocessor has up to 61 cores. And the new vector units on the Intel Xeon Phi are twice as big as anything we've seen in the past. And we can expect these trends to continue into the future. More cores, bigger vector units. And so it's important for application developers to understand how to utilize this new hardware and take advantage of it so that their applications can give a truly good, fast, interactive user experience. Good question. So a quick tip. Out of the box, the Intel C++ and Fortran compilers generate very good optimized code. However, they have to make the assumption that you could be running this executable on something as old as a Pentium 4. Now, obviously, you've got some newer hardware with a lot of new capabilities that could give better application performance. So the Intel compilers have an option X followed by a particular host that you want to target your executable for. And that'll tune the application with all of the performance tricks for that particular processor. But hey, maybe you don't know what particular processor you're compiling on and all of the features it has. Well, the compiler lets you do X host. And what that tells the compiler is, for whatever system you're compiling on, make that application run as fast as possible for that architecture. We'll talk about this and other tips at the upcoming conference.